Welcome to the Firearms Insider Gun and Gear Review Podcast, episode 224. On this show, we showcase gun reviews, gear, and anything else the gun enthusiast may be looking for. We strive to evaluate products from an unbiased and honest perspective. I'm your host, Chad Wallace from the Firearms Radio Network, your source for broadcasts for shooters, hunters, and all things firearms related. In this show, we'll be discussing a 7-shot Ruger revolver, some 224 Valkyrie upper, and an awesome 458 SOCOM rifle. And tonight on the podcast, we have Marissa from Bishop Firearms, and she is going to help us talk about their 458 SOCOM Hunter.
Which is why Chad was sucking up so bad.
Yeah. We also have Rob, of course, because without him, nobody would read the disclaimer. And then there's Tony.
You gotta have your eye for something. I don't do anything else.
Well, Tony makes it so I can repost his Instagram posts. Okay, wait, we have Zane. What's Zane for?
Comedic relief.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Comedic relief.
Did you turn your hat around so you look like a gnome?
No, it's on correctly tonight.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I guess
you do that challenge where you look up and you take a picture of your beard while you're looking up. You ever seen that?
I posted one of those the other day. I'll send it to you.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess we'll go into what we did in firearms. I guess we'll start with the guest. Marissa, you got anything interesting you did in firearms?
I'm sorry. What again?
Anything interesting you did in firearms today?
Well, today, no, but I'm currently building 458 SOCOM bolt action rifles.
Well, that's more interesting.
That's a little interesting.
Yeah.
It's a rifle that I guess the majority of the experts say can't be built to work because of the cartridge, the way it's designed. And we've got it to work to where it doesn't jam.
Hey, that's what matters. Well, let's see. I think Rob's next on my screen. So,
Well, I'm next.
Yep.
Yeah, let's see. I've been working my key straw at work and working weekends and blah, 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 blah. But I did decide to embark on an element of stupidity last week. And I said, you know what? I'm going to take all the ammo I've got around my house and consolidate it. Dear God, do I have a lot of ammo. I think I've got enough 9mm to fight World War III.
Hey, if you need to get rid of some, you can send it my way.
You ought to see what's in our warehouse.
Well, but you make ammo.
You mean what was in your warehouse if I get there?
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing how much ammo you buy. It's like, oh, gee, I'm out of this box. Let me get 2 or 3 more boxes and you put them here. Then you get 2 more boxes and put them there. Then it's like, oh, crap, I got a lot of ammo stashed all around the house.
Sounds
I don't have that problem because I have my own range, so I shoot ammo just as fast as I can get my hands on it.
Well, that's debatable.
Well, la-di-da.
Hey, I'll sell you guys ammo. More than happy to.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, Tony, you're next on my list. So.
Well, thanks, Santa.
Oh, you're welcome. But guess what? You're not getting any presents.
Not even A2 pistol grips?
Nope, you're not that good.
Oh, so this, what was it, Sunday, we had the Minuteman Challenge. It was great. It was using 22 long rifles. We brought the people out. We, of course, used RE Factor Tactical IQ training targets. We used the Dead Man's Hand training cards. We had 7 guys come out and run against each other and the clock, and it was awesome. And people often talk about, well, it's easy to shoot, right? I mean, it's a 3-inch target at 15 yards. I'm like, it's multiple 3-inch targets. You have to do them in order. You have to do them according to the drills, and you have to beat 6 other dudes. So, and you get penalized per miss. So it was pretty cool. One of the guys was able to put 5 rounds on target in 1.8 seconds.
Oh, God.
That was cool. So it was really cool. We had 2 new winners. We had Armin and Ray. Those guys won poker chips, so they're going to be able to come to the poker chip championship at the end of the year, which is going to be awesome. So we can't wait for the next event coming up on June 7th. So that's what I did. Oh, yeah, and we broke out the Henry lever action because Sean had never shot one. I don't know if you guys have seen the Frontier. the Henry Frontier Sean had shot. It has a 24-inch barrel on it. It is silky smooth. He was able to put rounds almost as fast as you can get rounds downrange on a semi-auto. He couldn't believe it. He was like, I want one. Because he has a regular size that we use for classes. Henry sent these out for the diversity shoot. And I was like, this is going to go to Pennsylvania because it can take a suppressor. I have a couple friends over there who have suppressors, so we're going to have people shoot suppressed 22s when we host it in PA. And Chad just rolled away. I think the dementia's kicked in. He forgot he was on a show.
It happens.
Hey.
He just rolled off.
You were just, I figured Tony can talk forever. I got a second.
He just left the screen.
It was like exit screen right, came
That's
back
right.
in.
Yeah.
That's right.
Grandma's
Okay.
roaming again. Go ahead.
That's right. That's right. I had to answer questions, so not from you guys. Well, Zane.
What did you tell her? Unfortunately, yes, I am your real dad.
No. Who's my wife? I told her yes, you don't have to do anything. So Zane, did you ever figure out how to load that revolver?
I did. I figured it out. Yeah. So I got some stuff. I haven't done anything live fire wise, but I've done a ton of dry fire on the range because I don't have snap caps. So I'm doing my dry fire with live ammo, but I'm doing it at the range to be safe. Learning how to reload revolvers because that's a skill. So I got some of the Tough Product speed strips in, and I got a Tough Product pocket holster and a Black Rhino concealment IWB holster. Just a whole bunch of stuff for this Ruger LCR because I'm going to learn how to wheel gun, and it's fun.
Nice.
And when I say dry fire with live ammo, for people listening, what I mean is I'm not actually pressing the trigger. I'm just like going through reload motions in case there's any confusion on that. So.
Well, that's called reloading. That's not called.
It's still dry fire practice. Anytime you're practicing your skills, it's dry fire.
Okay, you can make up your own words now. No problem.
Hey, I don't know about you guys, but I do malfunction clearance and magazine changes and stuff when I do my dry fire practice.
Really? Even with that revolver?
No, not with the revolver. The magazine won't go. I cannot figure out where the magazine goes in the revolver.
I know.
He busted up the feed lips on his 9mm Glock trying to change
terrible.
it out to load it into his revolver.
Yeah,
that's I'm going to be a wheel gun expert by the time I'm done with this.
Well, good. Yeah, they take a lot of practice if you're not used to them. Let's see. What did I do? I went out and shot a bunch of groups with a couple barrels that I have for review. And, it's not exactly something fun, but something that I needed to do. But it's better than nothing. And let's see. That is the extent of what I did in firearms. So I guess we'll get into the announcements. Our bandwidth sponsor is Patriot Patch Co., if you can imagine that. New patches for pre-order are the Invictus Mineo dog tags.
Oh, great. You can't even read English. This
I
is
know.
going to be awesome.
I know. That's because I'm not English, right? I'm American.
Well, it's in... What was that about? It's in Latin. That's what you grew up reading.
No, it wasn't invented yet, remember?
No, hey, wait, Tony, you got to remember something. Chad's so old he farts dust, okay? Give him a break, okay?
Well, no, him and Nero were in school band together. But, Nero fiddled as Rome burned.
Uh-huh. Well, and then there's the Taco Tuesday patch.
That looks cool.
And Zane's patch that I'm pretty sure they made just for him is the Taxation is Theft one. So all those are for pre-order.
I can neither deny nor confirm that.
Zane has that tattooed on his arm.
Nah.
Nah.
Tattoos are kind of permanent, man.
Wait a minute. Hey, this month's patch comes with that little a small magnetic patch holder?
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
I had heard that. And the patch that's coming with it is what? Back-to-back World War champs?
World War champions. Yeah, man.
That is the patch of the month for May.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
If you want to support us, go to the support page at firearmsradio.tv, pledge Gun Gear Review Podcast, and donate some money to help us buy stuff to review, I guess, or get us to places like SHOT Show, because that extra $1 helps. Please use our Amazon affiliate link at firearmsradio.tv/Amazon. And Black Bag Resources changed the code for us for the 2A for E diversity shoot donations. It is now 2A for E. So, Rob, hit it.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the individual co-hosts and do not reflect the official policy or position of the Firearms Radio Network and or their employers. Your discretion is advised. This is especially true on live shows. And now, Chad, let's talk about the Ruger GP 107 shot 357. Or do you want to move on down to the?
We're gonna move on down to the Bishop's Firearms 458 SOCOM Hunter, just in case Marissa needs to get out of here. So I'll go over a few of the specs and she can explain them all to us because she is the leading expert on this rifle. Basically, what she has done is they created a 458 SOCOM bolt action rifle that feeds out of custom. They're like Accuracy International. It looks like 7-round mags is what she said they are. It has a 16-inch stainless heavy barrel. The action is trued, blueprinted. She can explain what she does to it. It made a little sense to me, but might make more sense to other people. It does come with a Timney 510 match trigger. It has an interchangeable barrel system so that eventually in the future you can change out barrels on your own. As we said, it is a 458 SOCOM. It is a Remington 700 short action. The capacity is 7+1. It has a 6-groove button rifled 1-in-14 right-hand twist barrel. And you can get a Cerakote is optional of any color. It comes with a locking case. And on the website, you can get a stainless barrel if you want. You can get a few different barrel finishes, the Cerakote, black oxide, polished, muzzle brake, which I think it comes with, or in either black or stainless. You can get it with the Magpul Hunter stock, or for an extra $500, you can get it with the MDT Technologies LSS chassis, which is a pretty nice chassis if you want to opt for that. Right now, the price on it is $1,899. Says the list price is $2,199.99. So for everything that she's going to explain to you, I think you're getting a steal on this rifle. So, Marissa, tell us more, please.
Well, this rifle actually started out as a dare. I was told that you can't really build a 458 SOCOM bolt action rifle that would be able to be sold commercially. And the reasoning I was given is because it constantly jams and you can't really get around the problem because of the way the cartridge itself was designed. It's got that funky shoulder that they did. All other bottleneck cartridges have like a 22 to 33 degree shoulder, angle on that, whereas the 458 SOCOM has this rounded off shoulder and it hangs up in 4 different places. And being a family law lawyer out here in San Jose, which is where my law practice is, I have about 30 clients that are engineers. So I took the silly thing and say, help me figure this out and I'll give you time off of your bill. And of course, these guys are neurotic and they spent dozens of hours trying to figure out on this thing. And we were able to work out where they're jamming and why they're jamming. And by redesigning the interior of the 700 action and the magwell, I was able to eliminate 2 of the jams. And then I had to figure out how we can get around the jamming problem with the magazine. And I redesigned the follower and the spacers involved in the magazine and built in its own feed ramp and made other changes to where basically we now have a rifle that'll hold 7 rounds plus 1 of the magazine, will feed all 7 rounds, and will not jam. And the rifle that we show with the MDT LSS stock was the prototype, the one that we had at SHOT Show that was reviewed by a couple of people on the internet at the SHOT Show is the actual production version. Let's see, I've got about a 13-week back order right now on the rifles.
That's a good thing, I would say.
Yeah, it is. But people tend to get a little testy. It's like, how come I don't have my gun yet? And it says, well, because it's what we're doing to the gun to make it right. When we start the build of the rifle, the first thing I do is I order the barrel. And Tactical Ordnance makes the barrels for us out of St. Helens, Oregon. And what we use is a barrel nut system that allows you to change calibers if you want to. The head spacing is very straightforward. Then what we do is we machine the interior of the 700 action and the feed ramps on it to eliminate the jamming points. Then at that point, what we do is we have the action blueprinted. We have it trued parallel to the bolt, trued to the face of the bolt, everything done perpendicular or parallel to the barrel itself. We rechaste the threads to where we get those perfectly aligned, because the action from Remington itself is a good action for a general hunting rifle, but for something for extreme accuracy, it's not. And you have to go through this, and it's very time consuming and labor intensive to get it done. The bolt itself comes from PTG, and it has the M16 extractor on it, which is the only way for it to work properly and extract and eject the cartridges. You cannot use the Remington extractor that comes stock with it. You end up with all kinds of problems. So by the time you get the rifle from us, what you have is a very huge caliber short action match gun. At 300 yards with this rifle, I'm able to put 7 rounds inside of 3 inches.
Jeez, that's nice.
How far was that?
300 yards, and that's with our Apocalypse scope. We do a 5-25 by 56 scope. That is a tactical scope. That it's very low production. It's German glass, and that's the scope that I use to do that. For hunting, we use a Nikon Slug Hunter, because the ballistic reticle on that is perfect, because it basically drops like a shotgun slug on the ballistic 458. And at 100 yards, I can put 24 rounds inside of, just outside of a quarter.
Holy crap.
Hey, Tony, do you want one yet?
Oh.
I wanted one before I spoke to her. What are you talking about?
Yeah, me too.
You know, I've got a lot of experience shooting. I'm 59 years old. My father was a Marine, and he taught me how to shoot at age 6. Then I was in the Army as a military police officer. They refined it, and when I went through the training of it, the qualification, the first time I went through in qualification, I was 40 out of 40 out to 400 yards, and they put me through it 3 times because they thought I was cheating. Then I got additional training on high caliber long distance shooting with the military. Wasn't a sniper, it was interdiction. And I really can't even talk about where I was. It's one of those things you had to sign off and they wipe your DD-214 clearing.
Nice.
You know, it says you were in the military, but you can't talk to anyone about it.
Chad has that too. He can't tell anybody where he was, only because he can't remember.
I wish I had that problem.
Yeah, the big difference is see, I wasn't in the military, because when you're like, according to these guys, I was like 4,000 years old. So. Oh,
you were in the military, but you were in the military back when Nero was in the military. You served under Caesar Augustus.
Well, my kids asked me one day what I think it was, what was the war I liked studying the most or something, and I said, or they said that you were in, and I said like the Crusades or something. But
nice.
I was just Thermopylae.
Yeah, I was in time, got out of training just in time to go to Grenada.
All right. Yeah, I met a couple of guys that were in Grenada when I went in 88. I joined the Marine Corps in 88.
Yeah, I can say this, is that we were not there for the students.
Well,
we weren't there to get students out.
All I could say is I've read one book on that, on the Grenada thing. And yeah, I don't think I don't think a lot of people were there to get the students out, but
Well,
that's just
truthfully,
my opinion.
if they would have left the students there, they probably would have saved more lives. Those people became doctors.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, the rifle itself comes with the SOCOM Blue Cerakote with the FDE stock Magpul Hunter. Optional is stainless and black. Right now I have 2 builds, one for Michael Bain in the FDE and the SOCOM Blue, and then also another one for another gentleman that ordered a rifle for us, and a stainless and black for another order that we have that we're filling. And the stainless and black isn't shown on the website yet, but I have a feeling that's going to be my favorite.
Nice.
So does Magpul,
I wish I could see
I
it.
can't remember, do they offer an OD green stock also? Or
Yes, they do. And
Okay.
we will also Cerakote the rifle any camouflage pattern that you want. All you have to do is send us the pattern and we will duplicate it. It's an additional $200 to do the whole rifle.
Oh, that's not bad.
Wow, that's
kind of
all?
a steal.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like what they charge to do just like a pistol slide, it seems like.
Yeah, and the other thing about the gun is we offer a limited lifetime warranty. As long as you don't run it over with your truck, it breaks, I'll fix it or replace it.
Well, I don't
Okay, well, I got a car, so it'll still be covered then.
I was going to say you could
Yes, you said
probably
truck. I have a car.
you could probably run it over and it's not going to hurt it.
Actually, it won't hurt it.
I mean, I'm not saying do that. I'm just saying it looks like, okay, so you might have to buy a new stock from Magpul. Okay, whatever.
But when I built the gun, it was really built as a dare for doing large hog hunting.
Yes.
And
That I
that's
can
really what
see.
it was designed for.
Oh,
It is not a long distance rifle by any means. It's designed for close in brush, heavy duty, dangerous game. I've got people in Alaska that are wanting to have me sell it to them so that they can take it into the backwoods where they have grizzly.
Yes. I can see that.
And
Yep.
because it's a short, compact rifle, it's perfect for them. Now, the rifle does come with the muzzle brake. I have to update the website to eliminate the option because it does come with it. And it is a threaded barrel because it has the muzzle brake. So if you want to put a can on it, you can.
Sweet.
Even
What kind of a can? What's the thread pitch?
Oh God, you would ask me that.
Of course. We ask the hard questions.
No, you're
It's a
talking
bolt.
to the can guy.
Oh God, it is 11/16 by 24.
That sounds like something it could be. Yes.
I will have to. You're going to make
I
me
just
do my
figured.
research now. I'm
What
gonna
you
have to
do
go-
is I'm going to plug an Oregon company here. You just call up Bowers Suppressors and you tell them what you need it for and they'll give you one.
Yeah.
You know, it'll only cost
Oh,
you
I
a
have free
fortune.
suppressors. Oh, I'll just say, Chad said you'll give me a free suppressor, right? Correct.
But I know they make one because they make the 50 cal one. So I know
Yeah.
I know he makes one that
So-
will fit it.
Yeah. Now the other thing I've done with the magazine, I've made it so that it will only accept 458 SOCOM. It will not accept 308. It will not accept any other caliber except 458. So if you have someone that says, "Well, that'll hold 20 rounds of 5.56," and you're in California,
Mhm.
go ahead and try. It's not going to stay in. It'll spit it all out.
Awesome. Because, yeah, they do that. Oh, that'll hold this. It's like, no, it won't.
But yeah, that's a big
Well, you didn't-
misnomer out there. A lot of
Didn't they
these.
try that crap in Canada? Wasn't that something they tried in Canada because they limited the magazines up there and they said, oh, well, you know, if you use this 50 caliber, you can get your 223s to hold 20 rounds or whatever. But anyways, that's
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the thing they do in Canada.
Yeah, and the lawyer part of me is going to kick in here is that if you have a magazine and you happen to just go ahead and mark it 458 SOCOM and it's a 20-round magazine, it's still a 20-round magazine.
Yep.
Okay, no matter what you mark it as, it doesn't matter. It has to be only able to handle that number of cartridges. And according to both the BATF, who just love this rifle, and the State of California Department of Justice, they absolutely told me they have no problem with this rifle whatsoever.
That means Tony can probably actually use it too in Jersey.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I have a
Somebody
question
was
about,
asleep in this California DOJ when they reviewed it.
I got a question about the magazines.
Okay.
Are there going to be 5-round magazines offered for states that require you hunt with magazines 5 rounds or less?
Yes, all you have to do is tell me the magazine limitation that you need, and then I will make it with the spacer so that you will only have that number of rounds.
I was going to ask the same thing because where I live, it's a 5-round limit for hunting.
That's what it is here in Florida too.
Unless it's
For
varmints.
hunting hogs? Hogs is like unlimited normally.
We don't have hogs in Oregon.
Well, see, we manufacture all the parts to the magazine. The only thing that we really reuse of the AICS is the spring and the shell. Then all the rest of the parts are made out of Delrin and they're cut on our laser engraver. We've got a 100-watt laser engraver in our company that I can cut up to 1-inch acrylic.
Nice.
And so what we do is I cut it out of Delrin and then I finish the shaping of it and hand fit it to the actual magazine itself. And we use Delrin because 1, it'll never wear out, and 2, it's self-lubricating.
Nice.
Yes.
So have you contract the rounds coming out of the barrel?
Depends on your manufacturer. If you use our ammunition, the 458 SOCOM 300 grain solid copper TTSX, we use the Barnes bullet, and you get about 1,800 feet per second on a 300 grain bullet.
A big bullet like that.
Yeah, we also can build a 325 grain FTX Hornady bullet that is at 1,720 feet per second, and we're working on an inexpensive round, which is a double struck copper plated 350 grain bullet.
What kind of foot per second are you looking at with that?
Probably about 1,550.
Man.
Still, I mean,
that's not pretty quick for. I mean, if you look at the 450 SOCOM round, that's a freaking huge round. I mean, it's not like a little 223 round or a 308 round. It's a big bloody round.
It's a 4570 in a short cartridge.
I mean, it's almost like a Desert Eagle round equivalent for a rifle, you know.
And we have 2 projects on the drawing board that I'm going to let you guys in on a little bit. We're working on a lever action in 458 SOCOM.
Sweet.
Oh my gosh.
You sure you want to tell our audience all that
stuff? Okay.
And we're right now in development of our own cartridge for ourselves, which is basically the 458 SOCOM for the AR-10, but it's a larger diameter bullet for the AR-10.
Holy crap.
Oh my God.
And it's basically, it will be a 400 grain bullet that'll travel about 2,400 to 2,600 feet per second.
Good God, that's a huge, wow. You think you get good accuracy out of that?
It should have the same ballistics capability as the 416 Barrett.
Holy Macarena. Yes, please. Check, please. I'll take 2.
Yeah, the power at 1,500 meters, according to the ballistics tables that we've been able to generate, you're looking at about the same power of a 45 auto point blank, but this is at 1,500 meters.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Well, we know what Rob's saving up for.
Well, we know what Rob's doing now. No more.
Are you going to be at NRAM meeting in Dallas?
Huh?
Are you going to be at NRAM in Dallas?
No, we weren't able to get into that. But because we were at the next pavilion at SHOT Show this year, we will have our own booth, and we will have the new rifle at SHOT Show.
Next year.
Chad, I need to get a ticket to SHOT Show next year.
Well, it's easy to get you in. It's just you got to get to Vegas.
Oh, that's easy. Come on, that's an airplane flight. That's nothing.
Yeah, well,
pretty much.
Yeah, the new cartridge.
I'm sorry. Is there in the future maybe a 14-inch SBR or possibly a pinned and welded brake in the future for this?
God.
Unfortunately, I won't do a 14-inch. It's well, actually, if I were to build a 14-inch, I would have to pin and weld the muzzle brake.
Right. Oh yeah, you can't do SBRs and.
You can't do that. I can't even build them in California.
Right.
Yeah.
You gotta. I gotta keep my license.
Right. So what you have to do, Zane, is just buy the 16-inch, and then you fill out your Form 1, and you send it in, and you cut it.
No, I'm just.
And you take a hacksaw out of the barrel like Chad would do.
I'm just thinking
this
is a pretty compact, rifle, and 458 SOCOM is a pretty fast. Uses a pretty fast burning powder, so
yes,
I'm thinking if you could even like a 14.5 pinned and welded, especially if it was going to be a suppressor host, I think that would be.
Well, in testing, what we found is the 16-inch barrel's optimum for 458 SOCOM. I have a lot of people saying, can you make it in an 18-inch or a 22-inch? And I say, well, yeah, I can. I can make it whatever length that you want it, as long as I can do it, legally.
Yeah.
But here's the problem. Once you get past 16 inches, you start losing velocity.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Right. Yeah. See, I wouldn't
burn.
want anything longer than 16 for sure in 458. But
the other
I
problem
dig
you
the,
have
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
the other problem you have is that we find that if you get below 16 inches, you don't get complete powder burn. You end up having nothing but a long flame coming out of the end of the barrel. We have a video of our 458 SOCOM AR rifle that we built that has a 16-inch barrel before we had the muzzle brake on it, and you could see a fireball 3 feet from the rifle that was 2 feet in diameter.
Yeah, it's kind of like the AMT-30, the 30
Yeah.
auto mags.
Right. I got a tough question for you too, since I don't see it on the website. It might be on here. Do you know the total overall length?
Total overall length? Oh God, I measured that just the other day for something.
That is 24 inches, right?
It's under 43 inches. I know that. Total overall length, because I have it has to fit in the fitted case that we have. So I think it's about 41 inches, 41 or 42 inches. I can email that to you later.
I wasn't too worried. I just figured maybe the people listening might want to hear approximately how big it is, because we're looking at the pictures and we can tell it's not a large lengthy rifle, I should say.
Yeah.
Which,
when you get those rifles built, it'd be a good idea to update some photos on your website, because those will look pretty cool.
Yeah, well, one of the things I want to do is we're going to take a picture of the rifle in the case as it comes, because it comes in, it's not just any cheap locking case. It's actually a Pelican style case with wheels. I think this one has wheels, but it's a heavy locking case with foam padding on the inside. The case itself is $100. Yeah. Just for the case.
And to think, I bought my Scar 17 and the darn thing came in a freaking cardboard box.
Well, that's because you bought a Scar. Okay. Do you guys have any more questions or anything that?
Yeah, where can I get one for T&E?
T&E?
Just tell him
the evaluation,
Tell him no. That's what I would tell him.
No.
Yeah, with a 12-week.
Or tell him he can test one out. They cost they're $1,899.
Well, actually, since I guess one of you is up in Albany.
That's me.
That's you. What I can do is next time I go up to St. Helens to pick, because we go up there often to visit Rob. I'll bring one with me. I'll let you know in advance.
Yeah, at least I can look at it and get a good hand on it. Yeah, that'd be sweet. I would love to get to see one of these.
No, you'd rather come to West Palm Beach, wouldn't you?
Well, it is warmer there.
Okay.
Maybe you're in California. Maybe Chad would rather come to West Palm Beach and Tony just because of the freaking cold weather they got up there. But
what were you going to say, Tony?
Chad, I wanted to let you know if she comes up to see you. I'll tell you what everybody in every booth at NRA in Atlanta told me. Licking the gun does not mean it's a transfer.
Well, I guess that's good. That way it won't cost me $10. Nice.
What is that MDT-LSS stock? Is that pictured on your website?
Yeah, it is. I got to see. Look at my phone here.
They make chassis.
That's the picture number 4, the really skinny one, right?
Yeah, that's the rifle with the MDT LSS stock, and it uses the Magpul Hunter, not the Hunter, but the Magpul PRS stock. That's the old version of the Magpul stock. We use the new one now.
And is that like a metal one, or aluminum, or plastic?
It's aluminum.
It's an aluminum.
I did a review on one of their chassis. I think it's the XL though.
Yeah, but Chad, I can't read. You know that.
Oh well, I thought maybe you might have looked at the pictures. But
there was pretty pictures too.
Yeah, it's
you want me to go back to our reviews? Come on, give me a break.
It's an aluminum chassis. They make modular driven technologies makes them for just about every rifle, bolt action rifle made. It seems like, and so, they're nice. They're nice chassis.
So since this is Remington 700, can you use standard 700 scope rings or scope mounts, or do you have to buy your proprietary ones?
No, we use a Weaver rail. That's the other thing, is it includes a Weaver rail already mounted, properly torqued down, and you can use any scope rings or cantilever mount with it that will mount on a Weaver rail.
So,
Very nice.
if for some reason you wanted a pick rail on top, that style instead of a Weaver, you could just get one for Remington 700 and it'll mount up.
It's a standard chassis on the outside.
Yep.
It's anything as regular 700 will accept. It'll accept. Plus, you got the Magpul stock that's going to accept all its accessories.
Right.
When you're shooting it, what does it compare to as far as recoil wise?
I had an 8-year-old little girl shooting this.
Okay, I mean, is it like, I'm guessing 308, 22, something like that? I mean, I don't know.
The 458 SOCOM without a muzzle brake is brutal.
Mm-hmm.
I made the mistake of proof testing it with 24 rounds, and I had a black and blue mark the shape of the butt of the recoil pad on my shoulder for weeks. Then when we put the muzzle brake on, it tamed it down to about that of a 30-06.
Okay.
With the muzzle brake.
Now, is that one of those where with people standing to the side when you're firing this gun are going to step out of the way just because you're coming back off the brake?
Yeah, you don't want to stand at the side of this rifle. The muzzle blast to the side is ugly.
Is it comparable to standing like next to a Barrett?
No. No, it's comparable to standing to a 458 SOCOM AR rifle.
It's probably like my Scar 17. You know, you're shooting a few rounds, and people to your right and to your left at the gun range are going to be stepping back just to get out of your way.
Yeah,
because they know it's coming down the road. You know.
Well, when I'm there, what I do is always put the little screen down for the catching of the brass, and they're like, "You're but doing a bolt action." So yeah, I don't want to hit you in the head with the blast from this rifle. And the nice thing about it is when you take this gun to the range and you shoot it, everyone else who thought they had the big boy in the block stop, and they come look.
Well, it's just like shooting a Desert Eagle at the range, you know. Especially an indoor range.
You aim at. Except you can hit where you aim at with this.
Hey, I can hit stuff just fine with my Desert Eagle. Shut up.
Well, no, I had a guy shooting a 44 Magnum next to me, and when we were setting up, I think Diane took a video of this, and I was shooting the rifle. The first round went off. He stopped and looked and put his gun down.
You won.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, I appreciate you coming on. If you want to stick around, you can. If you need to get out of here, that's fine too.
I do need to run.
Okay.
Okay.
If you want to, we're
you.
going to be nice. And if you want to tell people where they can find you.
You can go to our website at www.bishopammunition.com, and that is where we have all of the ammunition, accessories, scopes, and the firearms hat. We also do the AR-15 in 3 different flavors. We do AR-10s from 308 through up to 6.5 Creedmoor at this point. However, when we come out with the new cartridge, we're going to eclipse anything else out there. We have the 1-8 scope. We have a 1-6 scope by 24 that are specifically designed for 3-gun shooting, and we have the 5-25 by 56 tactical. And they come with rings and a cantilever mount.
Nice. Nice. Well, thanks again for coming on and telling us about this rifle that we would have just kind of had to go off your website and say, yep, it looks cool. So
I wish I had one here to hold up the camera to show you.
Yeah, that's okay though.
Me too.
They can stare at pictures, and Rob will just go search the internet for it anyway. So,
all right, guys, you have a nice night, and thank you.
You too.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for coming on.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, guys, I guess we're into what Rob wants us to talk about now. Or is this? Oh, I know. Well, you tried to put it in first. Oh, I did.
Well, it was first in the show notes, so I said, "I'll go first on the show notes."
I screwed it up.
Do not confuse him. He just learned to count. Do not confuse him.
Yeah, 1, 5, 8, 21, 12.
Well, in that case, the Ruger GP 100 7-shot and 357 will really screw him up because it's got 1 extra round. I put the
A 7-shot revolver. That's not natural.
I put the 4.2 inch in the show notes. It's got an MSRP of $8.99, but we all know it's a Ruger. These are new. Ruger started making certain ones of the GP100 in 7-shot in 357 Magnum. They also make 327 Magnum 7-shots, I think, too. So you're looking at your normal GP100. It's got a fiber optic front sight. Like I said, this is a 4.2 inch barreled model. I think they make a 6 and maybe a 3 or something. This is the stainless version and has an adjustable rear sight. Let's see, overall length 9.5 inches. It weighs 40 ounces. And it is California and Massachusetts approved, I guess. It has a triple locking cylinder. Locks the frame front, rear, bottom. So they're typical GP100. I put this in here because I like full-size 7 or 8-shot revolvers. One, they're heavy. They're easy to shoot. But if you're shooting certain things like speed steel and you want to shoot it with a revolver because you're old like me, having that extra like 2 rounds is huge in a revolver. That way you don't have to take a miss or a penalty.
Extra 2 rounds. Don't revolvers normally come with 6 rounds?
Yeah, but if you're shooting steel, there's usually 5 targets, 1 shot on each. So you get 2 extra shots shooting a 7-shot.
So don't miss.
Don't miss, exactly. But I thought I'm glad Ruger came out with these. I mean, there's kind of a market here and there for them. I know Smith & Wesson's had one for a while. I like that it had the fiber optic front sight. It is a full lug barrel, which I personally like. I don't know how you would reload this through the handle, so we'll have to ask Zane how you do that.
I can't figure it out either.
Yeah, you put the cylinder out to the side, you reload it, you flap it back in, and you go bang, bang, bang again. I must have missed something last week when I couldn't make it.
No, you missed his video on Instagram, I think is what you missed. But really,
what's that?
Yeah, that's what
Lord.
I figured. It's something new by Ruger. Like I said, being a Ruger, who knows what you'll be able to get it for.
A 357 Magnum revolver new? Come on. They've been making these for what, 50 years?
Ruger hasn't made a 7-shot.
Ruger has not made a 7-shot.
That's right. So,
I
don't know. Tony,
oh my God.
Tony will probably like it. You other two, I really don't know about. So,
Actually,
what do you guys
I do
think?
like revolvers. I'm just not a big fan of 357 Magnum.
Okay.
The reason I like 357 Magnum is because it's 357 Magnum.
Because you can shoot 38s.
You can shoot 38s out of it. You can introduce new people to it. And it's not so heavy that they will be totally put off by it. And then you can load it up really, really hot and take a lot of game with it if you wanted to. I mean, it's very, very versatile cartridge. Now, 44 is even more so. But I think 357, 38 for self-defense, for plinking, for having fun, nothing really beats it. And then you have 7 rounds, plus you have the fact that Rugers are overbuilt anyway, like everything about them. So it will last a long time. I mean, it's not the prettiest gun, but it is heirloom because it will last if you take care of it. Probably last if you won't take care of it.
Probably.
Oh, yeah. Ruger makes solid product. Okay.
Oh, quick thing though. For Bishop Ammunition, they have a Facebook page too that you can go check out. I joined that earlier today. They put a lot of new pictures and videos up of what they're doing. So I think she forgot to mention that on the way out.
Yeah, I don't think she did. So thanks, Tony.
No problem.
So on this Ruger here, I mean, 7 shots is better than 6. What I'm kind of interested in is if they decide to do this in 327 as an 8-shot.
Uh-huh.
Because typically 5-shot 357s can be made to 6-shot 327s, and the 327 is a very versatile cartridge. You can do anything from shoot
32
loads that feel like
H&R.
22
You
all
can
the way
shoot
up
32
to
H&R.
yeah, and those are little powder puff loads, and you can get up to a full house 327, which
Almost 357.
I think that would be kind of cool. Again, I'm not a wheel gun guy. I just got my first one, and I'm playing with it and learning it. Going back to what you were saying on the MSRP, Chad, just to put it in perspective, the revolver I just purchased, the 357
LCR
is, let me find the MSRP. The MSRP on it is $579, and I got mine for $340 out the door. So that gives you a little bit idea of street price and MSRP.
You know, Ruger's always have they're one of the companies that you look at their retail prices and you're like, it's like they're like the you never pay retail people.
I would say start with the Ruger Precision Rifle. I paid pretty close to retail for mine.
Yeah,
that's because they were unobtainium for a while.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. You bought the hot rifle. Revolvers, not so full size 40-ounce steel revolvers, not so much. But I think you're missing out.
Yeah. You're probably pick this thing up about 6.
Yeah. I picked up my Smith & Wesson 686 used for around 6. So we're getting a brand new Ruger 7-shot. What was that?
I said, don't be afraid to buy guns used. There's nothing wrong with a used gun.
There's nothing absolutely wrong with a used gun, but I'm just saying if you're going to pick this up, $600 is still a good price point. Really good price point for quality revolvers.
Yeah, and the thing is I don't think they're going to sell like huge quantities of these things.
Nope.
Because the market for who it's for is for people that want this.
And you know what? I bet you it's better than a Taurus. Oh, did I just say that? Sorry.
You can probably say that because if this and a Taurus were sitting there, I'm buying the Ruger, not even blinking an eye.
Here's the thing. Taurus is one of the victims of their own quality control and their customer service. I've heard horrible things about both. And to the point that certain people won't even work on Taurus revolvers or Taurus 1911s because their own specs are just off so badly.
Well, when your quality control is, send it to us and we'll send you a new one. I mean, what the heck kind of QC is that?
And I'm not even saying everybody's Taurus is bad because, I mean, much like, the whole High Point thing, it's like the one you have works, but like the one other people have doesn't. It's just what happens. And then when you get a bad reputation, it takes forever to clear it. I mean, people still fling poo at the AR-15 M16 rifle because of what happened in the late 60s with it in combat.
Right. And
I mean, let's be honest when it comes to high points, though, Tony. I mean, I've seen that. I think we've all seen the video of where the Iraq vet puts a hammer or a nail down the bloody end of his high point to finally get the darn thing to stop working. And it cooks in a frying pan. I mean, what do you have to do? Get a round to jam in yours or use an oversized round?
Oh,
look at the
I'm
Geeks,
special.
Gadgets, and Gun guys they loaded theirs up with like black powder trying to literally destroy it. And
dude, that would be cool.
And they pretty much, it worked afterwards. They were pretty much unable to
understand who you're dealing with. You're all talking to the only guy I think any of you know that broke a high point.
Yeah, it's probably true.
Well, you're a Marine, so you can break
I broke one.
Another Marine, that explains it.
The only thing I had to do, to be fair, the only thing I had to do to get mine to jam was to load hollow point ammunition in it. But
yeah, it is what it is, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Back to the Ruger.
Do you have anything more on the Ruger?
I don't know.
Nope.
It's cool. It's heavy.
It should be.
Am I muted? Yeah,
no,
it's heavy. So it's heavy, so it's going to mitigate some of that recoil. So 357 is nothing to sneeze at. I think it'd be fun to get out and, like you were saying, Chad, shoot some steel with or something. But I think enough people are gonna buy it to keep the SKU, but I don't think it's gonna be the next big thing. Yeah. But it's gonna make money for Ruger.
Oh yeah, I think it will too.
My thing is how much you're gonna spend on the Smith & Wesson that does the same thing, the 7-shot Smith & Wesson. The 7-shot Smith & Wesson is probably going to cost you near $1,000.
It's a couple $150 more probably. So, well,
MSRP.
Yeah,
but it's actually going to be MSRP.
Well, yeah, real close to it. Yeah, the only advantage is you can't probably find a used Ruger 7-shot, but you can find a used Smith & Wesson.
Actually,
7-shot.
the MSRP is comparable.
Are they
really?
Yeah,
but
looks
again,
like it's the 686 plus.
Yep,
right.
The
686
7-round model. The MSRP on their website saying $849.
Okay, so
yeah,
comparable.
Yeah,
but honestly, Smiths and Rugers, in my very, very limited, use of them, they seem to be very comparable in quality. Smith, I think, has the name, and they have the. I mean, it's what.
And they have Jerry Miculek.
And they have Jerry Miculek.
No, I think.
I don't think you can go wrong with either, honestly. I don't think you're going to go wrong buying a Smith or a Ruger.
I will agree with that statement, Zane.
Any other brand, you might be going wrong. I shouldn't say any other brand because I don't know all of them.
Yeah, Korth. With the Korth, you'll be doing all right.
Colt,
yeah, you'll be all right with a Korth. Yeah,
you do good with a Korth, but you're not going to get a 7-shot Korth.
Nope.
I think with the difference between the Smith and I really feel most people think it's just if Smith & Wesson is a Cadillac, then Ruger is the Chevy.
I can see that.
And so what you're saying is they're built in the same factory by GM.
Yeah.
But they have
different badges and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just saying its quality is a little bigger. It's not as sleek as the Ruger is not as sleek as the Smith & Wesson. It's a little bigger, blockier, but it's still really, really a good good firearm. I mean, I have a Ruger right now I'm carrying on me. This is SR22, mainly because I'm just chilling at the house. But they make quality firearms. And if I had one of these, I'd be happy as a pig in slop.
I tell you what, when I did my research before I purchased a snubby, it came down to the 642 or the LCR, and I read everything I could and watched everything I could. And
for snubby, I'm getting the Ruger.
Yeah, and I just when I got compared everything apples to apples, I was like, I think the Ruger's a slightly better gun.
Yep, I agree.
And price wise, I think in that case
they're very similar price wise, even there. So,
but when I handled one, I handled the 357. Didn't shoot it live, dry fire. You know what I mean? My FFL had one when I came in to get something. I think when I picked up my CZs, he had one. And I'm like, dude, the trigger is awesome on this thing right out the box.
It's very smooth.
Yeah, it's just really smooth.
Now, it is very difficult to stack it, which arguably you probably shouldn't do. Stage it. That's what I mean. Stage it.
Yeah.
It's because it is so smooth. It's very, very difficult to stage it. Audibly, you can stage it, but you can't really tactically, or not tactically in that sense, but tactilely stage. Anyways, you know what I'm trying to say.
Wow. Zane is using words. Zane is using
words and definitions and stuff, man.
But yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, it really is it's smooth shooting gun. And the same thing with these. I remember when the GP 100s came out, I just thought they were really cool. I was just in another spot at that time. Now I have the 686. If I'm going to do anything, it'll be to get the TR8 from Smith & Wesson to get the 8-shot revolver 357.
Of course. Well,
why not?
I guess we got rid of the 357, but since it showed 224, I decided that we would put something in 224 Valkyrie in here.
Nerd alert.
And nerd alert. So Anderson has a new upper they're selling in 224 Valkyrie. MSRP is $601.09. Where they come up with this stuff? Yeah, I know. So it's a basic black AR-15 upper. It's complete, so it comes with the bolt, carrier, charging handle. It's 224 Valkyrie, 18-inch medium contour barrel with threaded half 28, so your standard. It is a 4140 chromoly barrel, not stainless or not 4150. It has their Night Stalker muzzle brake. It is a mid-length gas system. Okay, here goes the handguard. It's a key mod, 12-inch. Okay, why key mod? I don't know.
They got to get rid of the ones.
I know. Standard BCG, standard bolt, standard carrier, standard charging handle, and it has their non-RF85 treatment, which means it's not treated. It's just normal. Basically, it's their version of an inexpensive, I guess, upper for if you want to get into the 224 Valkyrie. My only concern with this is because of the barrel they're using. I don't think you're going to get very good life out of something going as fast as the Valkyrie. But I don't know. I mean, there's others out there for around the same price. It's not like they're super high priced or cutting the market. I don't know. I probably wouldn't buy one of theirs. I would probably build one for less money.
What are you talking about?
Get a better barrel.
I have to match it up to my $35 Anderson lower.
Hey, I don't have a problem with $35 Anderson lowers because 99% of them don't have problems. But yeah, if you want to match it up to it, that's perfect. I just threw it in here really. It was new. You guys know that I'm a nerd, so I had to make it the show work. What do you guys think? Okay, you guys are sleeping. Never mind.
I think it will work out fine. Truthfully, look, when it comes to all these new cartridges, most people buy it to say they have one and then rarely shoot it or take it out a couple of times. So it's not like they're going to burn up this barrel. And the guys that do take it out and do some varmint shooting or whatever you do with 224 Valkyrie, and they burn out the barrel, they'll just buy a better barrel probably and have it put on later on. So just shoot it until it breaks.
Pretty much.
More excited about that 458 SOCOM.
What was that, Rob?
I said I'm more excited about the 458 SOCOM rifle.
He wants to talk about it again because it's coming up again in the show notes.
You know, I think I am going with. I think everybody's more excited about the 458 SOCOM bolt rifle than any. I should have just put it in the show notes and said, this is all we're doing.
This is all we're going to talk about. Yeah. I just looked it up, and we know how I do. So I looked up different companies that have a Valkyrie upper. Stag Arms has the exact same thing, but it has a 416 steel barrel for $619.99. So that's
what's the handguard or the rail on that? What's the rail?
The rail on it. Let me see. Premium performance, heavy fluted barrel for Valkyrie, mid-length gas system. M-Lock SL handguard, which slimline, lightweight profile. So I have no idea what their SL handguard is, but it's their version of it, and it's M-Lock, and that's for $619. And then of course, and that's an 18-inch barrel. PSA. Of course, has a 20-inch barrel, M-Lock upper with the bolt carrier group and the charging handle for $499.
Of course.
I mean, and it's 416R. So, truthfully, you'd probably be better off going with either one of the last two I told you about.
Yeah, you know, I would tend to agree. I mean, Anderson is kind of one of those companies, they try to come in at low cost. I don't know, just with the retail of this, I don't know what the actual is going to go for. But
yeah, but still, I'd rather go with either of the other two based on, I mean, you know, it's not a numbered part, so Stag should be good. They probably can't mess that up. If you know anything about the history of Stag, and
they got sold to
them almost losing
else, so, yeah,
they had to get sold because they wouldn't do the paperwork correctly.
Yep.
Oops.
Yeah. So, yeah, if you're interested, go check him out.
Ray Earl, I thought you was in charge of that, Ray Earl.
No, what it was is the guy they told the ATF that the guy who did that was on vacation.
Yep. The guy who put the numbers on
the guy who put serial numbers on lowers is on vacation. How are we supposed to get serial numbers?
So what they would do was the non-serial numbered lowers, they would take it from their factory and send to another address to get anodized. Well, no, those are real guns now. You just took out the factory with no serial numbers.
Right.
That's highly illegal.
Tony,
And
the
Highly.
guy was on vacation. I mean, I don't know
what
why
part
this
of
is so.
on vacation?
What part of on vacation do you not understand?
Well,
We're
the
not
same
stopping everything because he's on vacation.
the same part that ATF didn't understand, the on vacation part.
So,
Where was he on vacation? Colombia?
well, not only was he on vacation that year, and they let him get away with it once. When
The
they
next
came back, he was obviously still on vacation the next year. They were like, he goes on vacation the same week. I don't know why you guys keep coming back on the same week.
Yeah, who knows about
Nice.
that?
Yeah, so again, I would go with either of the other two. I mean, even at a reduced price, this PSA is $4.99.
Right. I gotcha. And I think that's probably the general consensus here.
Yep.
I don't know if we have listener feedback this week because
Who
I'm
would listen to
using
this show?
I'm using our other computer, so I didn't check iTunes because it's not on here because I don't want to waste a good computer with iTunes. But
Nice.
because I forgot to talk about it earlier, I was at the local store the other day and they had a couple of the Nikon Black series that we talked about a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
The scopes. So I was able to look at them and tell Rob what I felt about the clicks, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, Rob, here's what I'm going to say. They're made in the Philippines.
Okay.
They basically, to me, felt exactly like the Viper PST Gen 2. And
Okay.
for the 6-24 illuminated reticle, it was, I think it was like $6.99 at that store. So if you get a chance, I looked through them. They are fairly clear. I mean, but I was inside their store, so all I did was pick the farthest mounted animal and look at it.
Yeah, that kind of becomes a problem when you're taking a scope and walking outside with, hey, look, I'm going to scope this out and scope that out. It really becomes fun when you say, hey, can you mount this on a gun so I can take it outside and look around with it?
The thing is if the day it was, if the manager that I know was there, he would have walked me outside and let me look at it outside, but he was not there. So, but I'm pretty sure he would let me. Well, he would go with me, but yeah. But I figured you were asking about it. I like the clicks felt nice. Everything felt nice on it. So I thought I'd do an update on that one.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So Tony, second is for everyone.
Second is for everyone diversity shoots coming up on June 7th. Tickets will be up for sale. I'm trying to do something unique with this one. If it doesn't come through, that's fine. We're trying to have a rental gun that'll be in the booth, and I'm trying to figure out how to get guys to be able to vote on the rental gun. So, as you know, Second is for Everyone is set up to invite everyone, no matter their background, race, religion, sexual orientation, or political leanings. We bring them in to shoot guns for the first time. We introduce them to Second Amendment groups, and we have them shoot firearms, which is awesome. And we also have pizza, and we have gifts and raffle stuff off, and that's what we do with the Second is for Everyone. If you guys want to donate and help us grow the Second Amendment community, you can go to GoFundMe, type in the Second is for Everyone, and you can donate there. You can also go to Patreon. We have a Patreon page, the Second is for Everyone. And if you want to just come and join our Facebook page, The Second is for Everyone is the name of our Facebook page. You can also follow us on social media on Instagram. That's my Simon Says Training page, where I have both my firearms training and The Second is for Everyone post. Every week until the end of the primaries, every Sunday, I will be posting the primary schedule for every state. Coming up, there's like 4 states. North Carolina is one of them. At the beginning of May, primaries start in a lot of these states. If you want to make a difference, now is the time as a firearms owner by voting in your state's primary. Do the research now. Find out who's actually a Second Amendment supporter of your elected officials and vote to have them actually run in November. Primary time is the optimum time because only about 14% of the party during the 2016 election voted in the primary. Only 14%. This is when the gun owners can make a difference. Pay attention, do your research, I'll be posting every week on Simon Says Train on Facebook, Simon Says Train on Instagram, and on The Second Is For Everyone. Just to keep it out there and keep it on the forefront of anyone's mind who goes on my page. Thank you, like I say every week, for allowing me to come on, talk about the diversity shoot, and hang out with you losers. I mean, guys, I really appreciate it.
And we love you too, Tony.
Well,
you should love me. I'm awesome.
We're still questioning that you were the handsomest on the podcast, but that's
great on the curve.
Yeah.
Yeah, big curve. Pound for pound, you're the handsomest person on this podcast.
I'm gonna have to change that now.
Hey, just remember, if you ever don't like what your idiotic politicians are doing, now is the time to get the boogers out of office.
Yep.
And now we're getting political, so now we got to get back to the getting out of here.
That's right. Get you out of here. Wrap up. Send questions, comments, or feedback to gungearreview@gmail.com. Remember to subscribe and leave us an iTunes review. And if you do, I may actually look at it and put it in the show notes. Check out all the other shows on the Firearms Radio Network at http:// //
You don't need all that crap. Just tell them what the address is.
You obviously listened to We Like Shooting last night, didn't you?
Firearmsradio.tv. I'm glad that we
Firearmsradio.tv, dadgummit.
Well, I had to do it the other way. Be sure to visit the Firearms Insider for reviews and industry coverage. Check us out on Facebook at Firearms Insider, and also follow us on Instagram at Firearms Insider. And thank you for listening to the largest pound for pound podcast on the network. And we are out.
Bye, Felicia.